Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making the luxurious, scrumptious caramel sauce. So let's get going. Hello, so what we're going to start off with, I have to just do a disclaimer to begin with. This recipe, caramel sauce in general, for whatever reason, it is not something that likes me. I have the hardest time making it, and I've already attempted it twice today, which is why all my ingredients are already over there. I'm going to try it one more time. If it doesn't work, then you will never see this video. If it does work, then yay! But first off, what I'm going to do is I have a 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon of water, and I'm just going to add to it 1 capful of lemon juice. This is supposed to help so that the crystals don't form in the sugar, and I didn't do this on my last 2 attempts, so we'll try this attempt and see if it works. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump this in, and then I'm going to sprinkle the sugar right on top. And the most important thing with this recipe is not to stir it, and it's so tempting to stir it, especially when you start to see the crystals form, but it just ruins it, so you can't do it. It's probably my mistake, is I did something wrong. I don't know, but we will try again. So I'm just trying to put this in the water as evenly as possible and make sure that everything gets saturated. And I think that putting the water in first really helps. The last 2 times I just put the sugar in first, and then when you put the water in, it just kind of sits there because the sugar makes like a little wall. And this way, the sugar kind of just absorbs into the water. So it's mostly absorbed now. And I'm just gonna move this around a tiny bit, not too much. And I'm gonna call it good because this is so finicky, you don't wanna mess with it. And I'm gonna go put it on a medium to medium high heat. You don't want to get this too hot, otherwise it'll scorch. So let's go put it on the heat, and hopefully my luck will turn around and this one will come through. 3rd time's the charm, right? Okay, so while I have this just sitting here, it's on, like I said, a medium high heat. I have off to the side 1 cup of room temperature, that's extremely important, room temperature heavy milk or heavy cream, because if it's not room temperature, it's cold, it'll cause this to just like explode. I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, because I want this to be a little on the salty side, and I have about 6 tablespoons of room temperature butter. So, like I said, you just leave this sit. You do not want to touch it whatsoever. So when this turns to a nice, lovely golden color, we will take it off heat and add our cream. If yours turns out like my last 2 did and completely seizes up and just makes a mess, the best thing to do is put it in hot water and let it soak, because your sugar just basically turns to a hard glue, and it's really hard to get out of your pan. So just put it into a really nice hot water and let it sit for a few minutes, and then the sugar should loosen up and you'll be able to scrape it out or scrub it out or whatever. Okay, we're starting to get the bubbles. Hopefully this will work. Otherwise, I give up. I'm gonna actually lower the heat slightly to 5. I had it at 7. I don't want it to scorch the sugar. Okay, so you can see here that the bubbles are more of a translucent. If this was starting to seize up, the bubbles would actually look white and opaque. So this is a good sign. So hopefully I will have caramel sauce later. Yay! Right now it's about the color of honey. As you notice, there's no stirring, nothing like that. This is a very boring process, but it's thrilling to me right now because, like I said, my first 2 attempts went down the pooper, and this one is coming right along. Yeah, I think that's the color I'm going to go for. So I'm going to take this off the heat, and we're going to very vigorously stir this caramel with the heavy cream. Now this will cause steam to come up, and the steam is extremely hot. So just be very careful, and if you need to like blow the steam away from you, whatever you need to do. This is a perfect color, so I'm taking it off now. Okay, here we go. Very vigorously stirring. Oh, it's beautiful. Ooh, hot hand, hot hand. Oh, beautiful. Keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. It's trying to seize up on me. Stir, 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 stir. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put in butter. Okay, I'm also going to throw in that teaspoon of vanilla. Stir, 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 stir. I have a chunk right there, I can feel it. All right, so I'm gonna put this back on the heat. We're gonna put it down to a lower heat, so about a 3 on here, and we want this to bubble up nicely. Just bubble this a few minutes. It reduces down a little bit. The smell of this is incredible. Back off the heat. Now I'm gonna stir in my half a teaspoon of salt. This is just gonna give it that nice salted caramel flavor. Just quick stir, nothing crazy. And we are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer this to a pan. I just have like a little casserole dish here, so I know it won't crack if it gets hot. So I'm just gonna dump this right in. Ooh, beautiful. We're gonna let this cool, and it's gonna be so good. So once the caramel sauce got cooled, I poured it into our little container here. This, as long as you have it in a nice sealed container, it will last in the refrigerator for at least 2 weeks. And then you can use this for anything. Ice cream, you can add it to buttercreams, which is what I'm gonna do. I have some cupcakes going right now. I'm gonna add it to my buttercream. You can use it as a drip on a cake. It's just really, really great, and this is so yummy. I wanted to go over what the tips and tricks were that I ended up using, since this was my 3rd attempt. First off, I put the water with the lemon juice into the container, into the pan. I don't know if the lemon juice was necessary, but it worked this go around, so it didn't hurt anything. And then I poured the sugar on top, making sure it was really nicely even dispersed. And then I just did not touch it. And basically that's the only difference between my first 2 batches and the 3rd batch, was that just the placement of the water with the sugar, which is, it sounds really weird, but it really did work. So yeah, so let's go ahead and make some of this. And if you want to see more tutorials, baked goods, and recipes, please like and subscribe below. Have a great day, everybody.